Greetings and salutations. How you doing? Give me one more minute and I'll be right back. I'm my own cameraman. So, I'd like to say hiya. My name is Ray. I tend to do a lot of stuff on my own. Frequent wheel loader. I got a wife and 3 kids. I got a small gun collection. I do things relatively, well, I'm cheap. Yeah, some people say, oh, I'm cheap. No. I'll show you what I mean by when I say I am cheap. Show you some of my reloading equipment. Okay. I don't have a bench or an actual table. Mine is an old aquarium stand for a 10-gallon aquarium that's got a couple of C-clamps holding the top down so I can put the lead press on it. Single stage press. Again, like I said, I'm cheap. I try to do as much as I can with the little bit of dollar I get. I can't speak for everybody else out there. You know, corncob medias, big huge tumblers, you know, that's their business. Me, I'm just a guy trying to do this thing with a wife and 3 kids, mortgage, overhead, you know, the whole 9 yards. Some of you guys out there are going to look at this and go, yep, we know exactly what he means. Others are going to be like, that's your problem. Okay? I'm trying to help that next man out there who's trying to up and come into this. Like, you know, without going bankrupt, without starving his children, without robbing from his family. The building I'm in, this building here, it was set up as a 1-bedroom apartment years ago. I got it near completed, and it was a couple of years after that I actually ended up being married with 3 kids. So, I mean, crap happens. The building was left not unattended. We use it for storage. I kind of flipped it into a man cave, if you would. But hey, it ain't the greatest. It keeps the water off me right now. Keeps the water off my equipment. You know. So, we're going to, I guess, begin with the tour. Up there, a buddy of mine, Alf, he kind of watches over the place. Underneath him's a food dehydrator. Now there's a falling apart shelf over there. As you can tell, the shelf is held up with some twine to the shelf that Alf is on. And it's got some movies. There in the blue bags on the shelf. That's all the different brass I've collected from different ranges. I keep it, you know, I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm cheap. I keep it in a plastic bag. Up here on the overhead, different chemicals I use. And I've got some brass, 45, 9mm, and 40 Smith & Wesson. I should say 45 ACP, not Gap or Colt. But it's all that's lacking is some powder and shot, and I'm ready to roll with it. Okay. The other brass I showed you previously in the plastic bags down here, that all needs to be cleaned and decapped yet and reprimed. But hey, up there next to Alf and the coffee bucket's 38 special. There's some 9mm in the back that's been cleaned and deprimed. It just needs to be capped and belled and sent on its way. But over here on the table here, for those of you wondering what the hell is that garbage, yeah, it's that black thing right there. That's my tumbler. If you give me a minute, I'll show you what's going on. Take the plug, Just a regular random plug. It's 9-volt charger. From, I guess it looks like Gemini on it. I don't know where I got it. It's probably as old as the printer that I broke apart. But we plug that in. And these rollers spin. I take my bucket here, which is usually got brass in it. Okay. My media, okay, is sand. It is just regular Repti aquarium sand that I got at a pet store. Okay. All natural terrarium sand. I'm sorry. Repti sand. That's what I use as my media. And that's not my actual tumbler kit. I use that sometimes, but all that really does is hold some of that sand for me. The real one has the tape on it. Again, it's just sand in it. Repti sand. And that tape keeps it from sliding backwards and forth on that thing like crazy. But it generally tumbles 2 hours. When it's done, I shut it off. I unplug it. Use a strainer to sift out the sand. Put the brass in like a regular house strainer that you buy, you know, for like pouring your macaroni through. If you're doing a single box, one of them single little wire strainers. Put a little soap in it, let it tumble in some other little jug or jar in the house, and shake all the sand off it. Drain it. I lay it out. Okay. Turn this around. That's one of the gun safes I use. It's a Sentinel. It's nothing major. I lay it out on paper towels or whatever I got. Oh, wrong damn keys. On a tray. The trays are usually some sort of old bowl lid, or, you know, something you can get plenty of brass on. I usually end up doing about 100 rounds, maybe 200 at a time, depending on the brass and how much time I got from the kids and the wife and all that. Like I said, it's just an old building. Tumbler's cheap. It's an old Canon printer ripped to shreds. I know a lot of you gurus out there and grade ace guys are going to be like, well, why are you telling a new guy to use sand? I've used it for 4 years now. Since I started this process. It works great. Here. Back up here. Under here, some ammo I've reloaded. Okay. There goes a nice 40 round S&W. I've cleaned it, reloaded it, run them through, put new primers in them. They work well. I mean, granted, they don't get all super shiny, but then if you added like a little new finish or Brasso to the mix, sure, they'll get all shiny for you. But I don't. Ooh, that's empty. I wonder what. Oh, 9mm in there. Okay. That's fine though. I showed you some 40. Got 250 rounds of that sitting on tap. But I'm also my own cameraman, so like I said, this is old building. I got many projects in the works. These boxes up here, okay, I'll show you the boxes on the table there. That's almost a complete front end for a 1994 Ford Ranger. And I know it's still in the boxes. I gotta wait till I can get great time and great light to get out there and get it all ripped apart and put it back up. But hey, I'm trying. Anybody wants it, they can shoot me an offer. I can tell you what I'm looking for it. I need something like a little tractor with a bucket scoop on the front end. I'll trade you that 94 Ranger for that little bucket tractor. Depends what you got. Of course, and some of them, they're new ones now. I've seen the prices on them. It's just, yeah, it's gone godly. I am little bucket trucks, but hey, all my videos are shot honest, unedited. I don't cut anything out. As far as my reloading goes, like I said, I'm man of many projects. Right over here is my cheap, very cheap. Get that to back up a little bit. It'll zoom in. But it is Lee Challenger Anniversary Press Kit. Okay. Handle. Okay, your die goes up top, and that goes in the bottom. And I had mine dump the primer into a little bucket. It sure beats cleaning up all the primer scattered all over the floor or stepping on them. I don't walk around in bare feet. I know some people who do. That's, you know, their business. But I try to be, you know, somewhat a decent neighbor when if they should come over and walk through my place. Right now I am currently reloading 4. Oh, you can see it up there. Those are all Lees. 45, 40, 9mm Luger. I got a 45 Colt there that I ain't using. I ain't got a 45 Colt anymore. I traded it off. Maybe I can trade those off for a 38 357. We'll see. And he pops in new in the head and I'll just get it listed. But it's kind of a introduction to, I guess, cheapo a-hole, I guess, if you really wanted to. It's kind of an impromptu. I'm going to try to keep it under 20 or so minutes, but I don't know. But my system's fairly cheap. I'm fairly easy. As I said, I'm using the sand now. I got probably 6 or 8 pounds in this one bag. I got another 10-pound bag under here of Repti sand. I think I paid $15 for it. It lasts a long time. For what I reload, I don't do great volume like some people do, 600-800 rounds. I'm lucky to do, let's see, I got 250 there, 500 rounds. Plus some shots, so much done. Probably about 1,000 rounds, 1,200 rounds a year, depending on how often I get out to shoot. And mostly, since I got the kids with me, it's the 22s we use. But, you know, it's not... What I'm trying to say is, you can do this on a very extreme budget. It's easy. Some of what we shoot at, I picked up Beho. Well, Beho was picked up for me. Beho, you hear me mention him if I ever do a shooting video. But Beho, let me take you over there and introduce you to him. Which means this camera's got to move, and I'm sorry for the shaking and all that, guys. But Beho sits in this other room. He was a Christmas, Father's Day, birthday present. He's a rubber dummy that you see a lot of the other guys, Such and a few of the others, they shoot at him. Also, not this dummy, but their own dummy. But and he's got the good stand going on, you know. But he was, like I said, he was a combined Christmas present. You can see, well, I've already filled him up with some 9mm. Just have got him, get him repainted. All that damage that you're witnessing right there, here, and some on his face, the eyes, the forehead right there. Most of that damage was done with, believe it or not, 9mm high point carbine, keeping the shot groupings at close to 75. I would push it out maybe more of 100 yards, closer to 100 yards. You know, like I said, it's a carbine, it's a rifle. I've had no problem with high point. I've had no problem with Taurus. I've had a few Smiths take a dump on me. They were early Smith & Wesson M&Ps. I'm waiting. I hear Ruger has got a new compact out there I'd like to get my hands on. 45 compact. Definitely want the 45 though. But I mean, just a guy that reloads and shoots his own stuff, you know, mainly Taurus, high point. I got some Rugers, I got a few Steyr M40s. I'm going to share with you guys my holster, my Remora holster. Update on it, it's still holding up. It's carrying that little J-frame Rossi 38 right now. No, I don't have it on me. I don't think I got any gun on me right now. But I do have a couple of means of defense in here, so I'm not too much worried about it. Plus that, I hear the kids out in the yard. Y'all might as well. But I'm trying to show others how they can break into reloading and do it on the cheap. Okay. The press set was $99 for the Challenger press set. I got all four of them dies I showed you up there. I got them at the same time I got the Challenger press set. It was $99, almost $200 for the press set, or the 3 die sets that I got for the League single stage. I think I spent less than $300 on it, but I had to do it. Got the anniversary kit and the dies. When I started going around to different ranges, I started collecting the brass. Then I was looking for a tumbler, but they were way unobtainable for my budget. So I made one out of the printer, which I showed y'all and it was working. It does work with brass in it. I used a sand, as I said. You can drop new car finish in it, Brasso. Add a couple of drops here and there. That'll shine your brass up real shiny if you really need it. I don't. It tumbles for 2 hours at a time. I've done about 1,200, 1,300 rounds, somewhere in that neighborhood, within the 4 years I've started doing this. But I've been collecting Taurus pistols since 80s, 90s, 80s, late 80s. I wanted a real budget-minded pistol, and they had one, and my God, I think I still got that little revolver somewhere. Well, little revolver. 5-inch 94B. It's over in my house. And like I said, it's my little bat cave. I'm not, I'm not, James Yeager. I'm not the Yankee Marshall. I'm not Such. I don't edit and cut and re-come back and redo the whole video again. What you see is live. I'm hoping that as time progresses to show y'all me on the press, me tumbling the brass, me cleaning the brass. Usually I just dump it in a Crown Royal bag and run it through some laundry. I know everybody's going, oh, the lead, powder, da-da-da-da-da. You know what? I got the government telling me I can take so many parts of lead per million. And that they're letting companies already just freely dump so many parts per billion on air pollution. You're being poisoned anyway. A little extra from 50 to 75 rounds every other month or so ain't going to do a damn thing to you. That's just me. My 2 cents. You want to piss and moan up somebody else's skirt, I will shut off the comments on this video just as quick as I let them roam. Right. Okay? You want to piss and moan? Find someplace else to do it. But if you're a guy trying to looking to do this stuff at very minimal cost to you and to your family, and maybe, hey, who knows, maybe sometime in the near future when the world collapses and the economy goes south, my sand idea, be a thumbs up. My cheap tumbler up there made out of a copy machine, be a thumbs up. Why? Because you're probably not going to be able to find it anywhere. I'm trying to keep deswiring to a minimum. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, I'm not going to review or edit. I'm logging into YouTube right now so that I can go ahead and post this video I'm shooting. Today is Thursday the 29th of December. I hope to get this thing up under Glock 20, dude. I got another video. Fortunately, I got to reshoot it. I lost it. I deleted it. It's of using a bore sighter to sight in a PT 24/7. And that's done relatively easy and relatively quick. So, like I said, I'm going to try to keep this video under 35 minutes, I hope. I think I originally said 20, 25. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it off now. I'm gonna go ahead and post it to my YouTube. Hey, you want to hang around, you want to like my channel, you want to subscribe, hey, cool. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna edit. Okay, what you see on a daily basis, or I shouldn't say that. What you see when I post my videos is gonna be live, just like today. 100% real, no gimmicks, no camera tricks, no hocus pocus editing. Because if I gotta edit, you shouldn't be looking at it anyway. And remember, okay, Telly Savalas loves you. All right. I choose, therefore I am responsible. Have a good one. Hope you come back. Hope you can pull something from my videos that help you out a little bit. If not, if it doesn't help you and you find it might help the next man, just pass it along. Nobody's asking you to dance on my grave, piss at my wedding, nothing like that. Hoorah!